Did you? I never noticed. She snuck off. I'm too loud for her.
Hello, everybody, and welcome. We're only a few hours away now from what's going to be an interesting night, shall we say? There's lots of good, there's lots of bad, there's lots of ugly, but we'll be there for it later on. In any case, but we're here to talk about tomorrow, not tonight. On this one, we're doing a quick prediction video. We haven't discussed this card too much.
Not actually tomorrow, mate. Sorry to interrupt you. It's the day after tomorrow.
What do you mean?
It's on Sunday, isn't it? The Zurdo CBS.
No, it's tomorrow night.
Sunday night.
No, it's tomorrow night. They've weighed in.
I thought it was Sunday night. Fucking mental. I thought it was Sunday night. No,
it's definitely tomorrow. They've weighed in.
Oh, it's Sunday. It said I've looked at a poster and it said Sunday, but it's meant for over here.
Might be Sunday in Saudi time, but it'd be about 10:30.
I really thought
10:30 tomorrow night. UK it'll be. But yeah, Billam-Smith against Zurdo. Then they've weighed in. Both men look decent at the weight, especially Billam-Smith. He looks in great shape. Zurdo a little bit fleshier, but he has moved up from 168. Let's be honest. Throughout his career, he's won titles at 168 and then up at Cruiserweight. Interesting fight. You know, there's been a bit of edge on it fight week. Malik Scott. I didn't even know Malik Scott was part of Zurdo's training team until this week.
So, you know, we've mentioned him the other night. We were talking about him because obviously he'd said something and Shane McGuigan's reacted. And then on my way into work today, as a passenger, I was watching some videos and it was Malik Scott. And he was saying, you know, I'm just backing my guy. And I'm thinking, why does he keep saying my guy? Is it the American thing or is it? And he's part of Ramirez, which baffles me because...
I didn't know. I think he's like a co-trainer.
Listen, Malik Scott is not a boxing coach. I'm sorry. He trained his mate. Deontay Wilder was worse after Malik Scott had got hold of him. He lost his jab and he's 1-2. They were having him jabbing to the body and just... I think it's going to hinder him.
Nullified his best weapons.
Yeah, and I think Malik Scott's all for Malik Scott, which, you know, you've got to be selfish, you know, to get anywhere in life to a certain degree. But when you're training someone and passing on your knowledge to others, you know, I mentor people at work and train people to do things. And ultimately, I want people that I train to be better than me. Because then it shows that I'm doing my job right. If they're a better salesperson than me, smash every target, then I'm doing it right. Malik Scott, I don't believe, ever wanted Deontay Wilder to be better than what he was. Because he just, evening, Pat.
Hi, Pat. How are you, mate?
I think it's going to hinder Ramirez. It's going to confuse him. But, you know, we'll see. We will see. It's an intriguing fight.
It is. You know, we talked about it a little bit earlier in the week. We haven't really looked at this fight too much, but the McGuigan and Billam-Smith link-up seems to be, you know, at an all-time high at the minute. He's beat every man he's ever faced. Obviously, his sole defeat was to Richard Riyadh. He avenged that last time out. It's been a bit messy. The Okoli fight was a bit messy. The Riyadh fight was a bit messy, but he's kind of done what he's needed to do, essentially. The Masternak performance was a bit of a funny one before he pulled out with a broken rib or whatever it was. But I think Billam's one of those guys who fights to the level of what's in front of him, to be honest with you. I'm not sure it's going to be a fun fight, if I'm being completely truthful. I think, you know, ultimately, it's an interesting one because Billam-Smith should be the favourite, really. He's a career cruiserweight. He's a bigger guy. You know, he's probably fought a better cruiserweight level, at least anyway, than Zurdo. I know Zurdo's been in with some decent operators over the years at 168 and 175. But, you know, his sole defeat was an absolutely... Well, he was exposed, wasn't he, by Bivol? But you can't really bring that into this fight because, you know, with the greatest respect to Chris Billam-Smith, he's not Dimitri Bivol, is he? So, you know,
no chance.
So that's probably why Zurdo's the favourite on paper. And he's a better boxer than Chris Billam-Smith. There's no doubt about that. He can box better than Billam, but Billam-Smith's bigger. You know, he's tough. He can crack as well. I think he's a harder puncher, probably. But yeah, I just think the clash of styles might not make it for the most fun fight, if you get what I mean.
I totally agree.
Pat said CBS will take this. Jai will take him out.
His next one, but his wife will talk about him. Oh, mate, he's part of Champions League every week. He's Malik Scott. she honestly, she crowbars him in there every week. And because Jamie Carragher's shit scared of him, he's like, oh, Malik, yeah, does Malik do it? And the sort of, he'll end up being a flipping fourth person on panel at one stage, talking about Riyadh.
He'll end up breaking down VAR. He'll do VAR.
VAR do you know what I mean?
Oh.
There'll be a Champions League match. I'll be like, is that Malik Scott running line? He'll be like, that offside, man. Outside, half-time, time-out. But anyway, look, ordinarily, I would agree with you, and I'm not necessarily disagreeing with you where Chris Billam-Smith always gets drawn into these sort of untidy, clinch-it, scrappy type fights, yeah? But I believe that he has improved dramatically in increments while he's been with McGuigan, right? And like you said, he potentially boxes to the level of his opponent. Coming off the mask in that fight, you know, we were underwhelmed, and he sort of looked like he struggled at times in that fight. But he did say he was under the weather leading up to it and whatnot. There was a plethora of sort of half excuses. The Riyadh performance, for me, you know, Riyadh didn't turn up, and Billam-Smith just did what he needed to do, went through the gears, and made it look fairly easy, to be fair. You know, Riyadh was never really in that fight. At one point, he just had like a puncher's chance. I think tomorrow night, Ramirez is going to get exposed for what I've said from Dave Dot.
You're quite big on it, aren't you?
Do you know what I mean? I don't like people going up for the wrong reasons. Ramirez went up because he knew he couldn't beat the champion at 175. He knew that. He got beat up, and he knew that.
It's mad, isn't it, when you think about it, mate? Like, it's pretty rare you hear a 168er fighting at cruiserweight, isn't it?
Doesn't happen.
It doesn't. Happen. You know, it's like Carl Froch or somebody like that. Like,
look, there's a prime example in the Tony Bellew, right?
Yeah.
But we all know that I was at his debut, so Tony Bellew boxed on I think it was Amir Khan, Scott Lawton undercard.
But the Bellew was dead at 175. He looked like
what I'm saying is Bellew was a career amateur heavyweight. Yeah. So he had to significantly deplete himself to
remember
get
that
to
Adonis
175.
Stevenson fight with Bellew? He was absolutely
looked like a skeleton. Didn't have punch resistance. So he was a natural cruiserweight. So he wasn't just moving up for the sake of it. That was his natural weight division. He made Cleverly move up. And what happened? Cleverly was too sluggish. Couldn't get his punches off and just wasn't right.
Was that fight? The rematch. Yeah, at the Echo Arena. Yeah.
I actually won a competition
worst fight I've ever seen.
TalkSport lead up to that fight. I've got a glove somewhere that's got...
Yeah. Mate, it's a crazy card, you know. Joshua was on it, Quigg, Callum Smith,
it's
George
signed
Groves,
by everyone. I think George Groves were on it.
Yeah, it was mad. There's loads of people.
Quigg, John Conte, Joshua. I've got it. It's got it somewhere. And then I won Sky for a year from TalkSport. Anyway, I just don't like him moving up because I feel it's weak and it's lazy. And I think tomorrow night you're going to see what happens when a light heavyweight fights a cruiserweight. They always say a good big un beats a good little un.
Yeah.
Right?
Unless you're sick.
Unless you're
yeah.
But predominantly, a good big un beats a good little un. I don't see anything out of Ramirez at cruiser. If it was at 175, I'd be more worried. But it's not. Right? It's at cruiser. Yeah. So I think that Chris Billam-Smith's going to be too big, hit too hard, and be too strong for him. And I think he'll take charge fairly early, maybe lose the first couple of rounds, but after that he'll take charge, and I'm sticking with it. I see him stopping Ramirez late. I do.
Yeah, there you go.
Ramirez is going to gas. He's carrying way too much. I mean, I carry belly, and I struggle to get up and down the stairs. If you're carrying a rucksack, for example, you do 5Ks, don't you? You do 5Ks. You got your personal best last week, didn't you? You did your fastest run. If you then carried a 25-pound sack on your back,
it's going to slow you down.
It's going to slow you down. You'd get through your 5K, but you would be absolutely exhausted at the end. Zurdo is fighting restricted. He's carrying a 25-pound bag on his back every time he fights. It's not his natural weight division. Yes, he's a world champion in that weight division. Cruiserweight, I'm not a boxer. I have boxed at amateur, but I'm not dismissing cruiserweight as a division. But cruiser and bridgerweight are two of, if not the easiest weight divisions to win a world title in, because they're not saturated. It's usually a division that's meant for people that are too small for heavyweight that will eventually move up, like the likes of Okoli and them. I think Moses Atoma would be perfect at cruiser, and then as he gets older, fill out and go up to heavyweight.
Unfortunately for the cruisers or the people like that, the does at heavyweight, isn't it? That's where the
does at heavyweight. Yeah, so as I said, I'm sticking with it. I just think unless Zurdo catches him and cleans him out, which I think Billam-Smith holds a good shot. I mean, Okoli cracked him.
He does hold a good shot, Billam. Yeah, he does. Got good.
Okoli cracked him a couple of times, and Riyadh cracked him a couple of times.
Riyadh dropped him, I think, in the first fight. But just you mentioned Usyk before. Obviously, he's going to fight the winner. So.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Oscar told us. And everything that Oscar said, is, I've got an itchy nose, man. Every time I mention Oscar.
Ben Chilong done a good interview yesterday. He kind of was just like, yeah, Oscar's Oscar. He's just out here just loving his life. Like
I've never heard so much bullshit.
He's like, do not take anything that Oscar says seriously. No,
but can you imagine, right? So Usyk, deep in the middle of his biggest...
Well, Alex Krashuk said, his promoter come out and said, like, nah.
Mate, he's halfway through the biggest camp of his life, for the biggest fight in history. Can you imagine sat there going, do you know what? I want the winner of those two.
I was in to fight Billam-Smith or Zurdo. Yeah,
no disrespect to either of them, right? But I'm pretty sure Usyk couldn't pick either of you out of a flipping lineup. He ain't got a clue who they are, Neen. He's not aching to fight them. He's already solidified his legacy at Cruiserweight. He won every belt possible.
Yeah. He ain't in a rush to go there. Greetings from Finland, Håkan. Hope you're well, my friend. I'm sure yourself and Pat are both looking forward to Katie Taylor and Serrano in a couple of hours' time.
Just gonna let
we'll be there. No, you're all right.
She's here whining. Shut up.
There you go. Yeah, but I realise now you did that because Pat said. Yeah, he loves it. Jay loves a good clapback Thursday. But yeah, so Jay's got a late stoppage then for Chris Billam-Smith. I'm going to agree with him on the pick, but I think Billam's going to win a decision. I actually think both men are very tough guys. I think Zurdo's got a decent chin. I think Chris Billam-Smith's got a very good chin. I don't think either of them have the power to, one punch each other. Chris Billam-Smith's got some decent knockouts in his career, but he doesn't strike me as somebody with terrifying power or anything like that. But I just think he'll edge him out, but then again, it is a Golden Boy show, technically, even though Frank Warren's promoting it, but it is technically a Golden Boy show, so I don't know if
Oscar's front and center into any chance he gets.
Oh yeah, it's just
Billam-Smith needs to put a commanding lead in place.
He needs to win big.
He could get shit on, mate.
Win big.
There's a chance it goes 1-1-5, 1-1-3 Zurdo split.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? If it's anywhere near close, I don't fancy his chances. I really don't. And I'm a Chris Billam-Smith fan. He is everything they say he is. He's a gentleman.
Probably more money in a Zurdo win, really, isn't there? Let's be honest.
Yeah. So let's hope that the judging's correct, and I don't think there's going to be any need for it. But if it does go, as you said.
Enjoy yourself, Pat. It's Friday.
Oh, don't be blaming beer, Pat. Your spelling's never right, much.
Oh, I love it. Love it. Hey, Pat, are you doing the all-nighter then for the Netflix card tonight, are you? I heard you're a big fan of Jake Paul.
Out by 10 o'clock.
Oh, well, we're coming on from the Barrios fight around 2, I think.
About 2 o'clock we'll be on.
Barrios versus Ramos for the WBC Welterweight Championship. I've got an interest in that one because it's a Welterweight World Championship. And
there you go. We've got someone agreeing with me finally. Mr. Håkan ringside live.
Zurdo Ramirez to win on late stoppage. I had a chat with Samuli Korkanen. Sorry about the pronunciation. Håkan, 20-2 cruiserweight fighter on the Zurdo Chris Billam-Smith fight at the hotel. Oh, nice one. Perfect.
What, is Håkan there? Håkan's not there, is he?
No. He's in Finland. He said, but it must be. He must have. I don't know.
Can't figure out because.
Yeah, let us know. Håkan, you spoke to him at the hotel that you're in, or before. He might have been there for a few days or something.
I was going to say he's got a long way to travel if he's going to.
Yeah. He must be weighing in Finland.
He's leaving that late, isn't he?
Oh, I love it. But yeah, 20-2 is a very good record, isn't it? So he's on the Zurdo CBS undercard. Okay, keep an eye out for that one. Yeah, look, we both got CBS winning. Like, we'll probably be accused of Brit bias there, but we do back plenty of times against the Brits.
Listen, we've both justified our picks, and anybody that watches us and listens to us, we have got British bias, but we will also pick who we feel is going to win. And I will always say my heart rules sometimes, but logic has to push through. And we can't be in this space and be biased as such. That's why my picks are always bloody wrong, because I try to go with logic instead of my heart. But, this has got nothing to do with British bias. Certainly not English bias. I'm Irish Jamaican anyway. That supports England. But
the big news of the day, Pat thinks he's going to make it all the way through it.
Yeah, good luck with that, brother. Good luck. I do that as well sometimes. Yeah.
JP v Tyson, better sleep on that fight.
I'll text you at 2:00, brother.
Oh dear, I love it. But yeah, we both got Billam. Let us know what you think in the comments. Pat Håkan, enjoy your evening on the beer. Pat Håkan, enjoy your stay in Finland. We're going to be back for anyone who's a UFC fan to do our preview of the fight night tomorrow. We've got all sorts of watch-alongs coming on, from Mario Barrios from 2, Katie Taylor from 3 a.m. This is UK time. Jake Paul, Mike Tyson, approximately 4 a.m. We're going to cover it. Tomorrow night, doing the main event, Chris Billam-Smith versus Zurdo Ramirez, and we'll be there for Bo Nickel versus Paul Craig, Charles Oliveira versus Michael Chandler, and John Jones against so probably, what's that, total of 3, 4, 7 fights to watch along to this week, and we've got a grand total of 1 next week. Harlem Eubank against.
We'll see you there.
We're filling our boots while we can for this weekend, because next week is what they call, I guess, an off week. Yeah, Kieran Dyer next week. But yeah, cheers guys, have a great evening everybody. Me and Jay will be back shortly. Cheers Pat, enjoy.